Thank you. Thank you. We're a little late, but we had some technical difficulties. But hold on one second. Let's get this Instagram live going because we do have a special guest in studio today that I will be bringing up. And okay, so we got Instagram going. And let's see. All right. Welcome to another G Spot experience with your girl Germaine. And this is a coffee break. And guess what? Today's Friday. And so I coined another phrase for Fridays because, like I said, I wanted to make Fridays a day that it becomes the author's brew Friday. So today we have a new author in studio with us that I'm going to bring right up because I know we only have 5, 10, and 15 minutes for our coffee break. So make sure you got your water, your tea, your juice, whatever you're drinking. And let me go ahead and bring my special guest on, Dr. Tenaria Drummond-Smith. And here she goes. Hold on. Hey, T, how are you?
Hey, Germaine, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining in. Now
Thank
we're getting
you.
started, so people will be chiming in. And this broadcast through all of my platforms, my Instagram, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, my what else? Facebook. So, but I know I'm not going to keep you long, but I definitely want to get into this topic. So today's Authors Brew Friday topic is with our special guest, Dr. Tenaria Drummond-Smith. She is a multiple best-selling author, number one, multiple best-selling author, several books. She's been with HOV Publishing, my company, for over 10 years. And this is the 10th project? Is this the 10th project?
Yes, and
Okay.
counting.
So, we are going to talk about Season with Purpose, putting it down in the kitchen, which is the new book. I'm just going to pull that image up real quick to give people an opportunity to scan and buy. So, give me a second. Let me pull that up. And you'll see a picture with Dr. Tenaria Drummond-Smith and myself in the barcode. Make sure you go scan that QR code. It is available. Finally, it's available. So go purchase your copy. We're running a special up until June 13th. So go get this beautifully printed, full color, high gloss cookbook today and help us make this book a number one bestseller. So let's get back into the conversation with Dr. T. All right, girl, tell me, what inspired you to want to do a cookbook? This is so to the left of all the books you've put out.
Well, since my mother and my grandmother is no longer in the land of the living, but I just wanted to do something to help to keep their legacy going. And the era that I come from, we helped cooked in the kitchen and cleaned up. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put some of the recipes in a book that I was raised on, cooking and putting my own little touch to it. And
Yeah.
also just doing something that's different. I know that a lot of people who cook, they use measurements, but this book, there is no measurements. Growing up with, your grandmothers, your aunties, and everybody coming over for the holidays and just pitching in for the holidays, I've never seen anybody use any measuring cups. So that's why I came up with the name, putting it down in the kitchen. And I want people to really enjoy our recipes to cook to your liking, but still gleaming from what it is that we prepare for them in the book. How about
Now, what you did interesting, you invited other women to partake in this book. And I
yeah,
want to give a shout out. I want to talk to you about the vision behind what inspired you once again to say, you know what, I don't want to do this by myself. Let me bring some other authors into this and let everybody become a best-selling author while they're sharing their recipes globally, right?
yes.
So talk about that. Why make this an anthology book?
Well, since I've done many anthology books, I wanted to do something a little bit different who I've never actually seen anybody do it. Everybody's doing, I'm inspiring books and journaling books and, just getting women together and talking their truth and they wise, but I want to do something a little bit different. And I'm always someone who loves to step outside of the box. I wanted to get women from different cultures. I know personally myself, I love Italian food, I love Jamaican food, and I just love any different type of international foods from different cultures. So that's why I wanted to celebrate like-minded women so that we all can come together collectively to share our dishes, and including you, Germaine.
Girl, I was just about to go there. For someone like I've been saying as we've been leading up to this interview, when my mom said that girl can't boil water. So I'm gonna make sure she has a freshly delivered cookbook with my face in it, my
That's right.
recipes in it. But I have to tell you, this was definitely a labor of love. It was a journey from when we started the project. But you
Yes.
know what? God is always right on time.
Hmm.
And right now the timing of it is out when it's supposed to be out, right?
That is correct.
It is here. It's an opportunity for people to share in some of the love that we put down in the kitchen and with their families. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I have proof now that girl can cook.
How about that? Yes. Yes, indeed. And also, too, even in the book, I wanted to make mentioned that some of the young people in my family is actually into cooking now. My brother, all of us, we love to cook, but I have actually inspired my little nieces and nephews who is now interested in cooking.
Let me tell you, if I can just share part of my story, right? I prayed that God would send me a husband that can cook because I knew that wasn't an area of strength. I was always driven about career, business, and all that. So, my help, I wanted to help me in the kitchen. But
Right.
after all these years, the funny thing is, he stopped cooking. And it forced me to start cooking. But I have to tell you, it has been so therapeutic. I actually love doing it, getting in the kitchen. But this is what I want to do because I know we don't have a lot of time on these coffee breaks. I want to just shout out some of the other authors that's in the book. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
All right. So let's talk about those that contributed by bringing their recipes of love to this book. We had Annette Morning.
Yes.
Okay. We also have Dr. Carolyn Mulberry.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, let's say Carolyn Tab, Dr. Carolyn Tab,
Yes,
because I
Tab.
think she goes now by that. Okay.
That's
And
right.
then we also have Catherine Myland, who's a part of this book. And we have Donna Collins,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who's also bringing her recipes to this book. We have Diane Stevens, and she's a pastor, I think, right? So you have an
She's a
eclectic
minister. She's a minister.
minister. You have an eclectic group of women that you
Yes,
have brought together to be able to put it down in the kitchen. Let's
that's right.
see. We have Lucia Clark. Um,
Yes,
we have Shamika Drummond.
yes, that's my niece.
That's right. We have Sandra White, who's
Yes,
also putting it down in the kitchen.
yes,
So
and
I
she's
think,
in Jamaica.
yeah, she's from Jamaica. So you have really given an opportunity, like you always do through your ministry, also Women on the Move. And so pretty much this is just another one. Your vision was to help authors share their stories. So it's amazing how our visions align together, being able to bring stories globally to the world. And so, let's talk to the audience, right? Because I saw some new people chime in on my Instagram that I haven't seen, like my girlfriend Valerie Wright. Hi, Valerie. And you, Linda, who I have not seen in years. And Jesse, I mean, Jesse, thank you so much because you are like day one, you and Dr. T, right? So, but let's talk about real quick. What do you want to leave with those that's chiming in, and why should they buy this book?
Well, actually, I'm so excited that they all have chimed in. So, hello to everyone. What I would actually like for them to be inspired to do their own recipe and their own book, and just to give us some feedback on once they buy the book. Let me make that clear. Once they get the book, and let us know what they think about, some of the things that we have added in the book. And I want them to be inspired to start cooking and stop just boiling
Yeah,
water and rice.
that's it. Listen, while you're talking, giving instructions to all those listening, I'm just going to pull it up to give them an opportunity to purchase it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So, and
this
also,
is, go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, and also too, I want young people to start learning how to cook. Don't go to McDonald's. Stop going to McDonald's and buying all these processed cooked food, and learn how to boil some water and boil an egg. You know,
Amen.
and clean up the house sometime. I'm just saying, I'm old
Listen,
school.
listen,
Get
I
it
can
with your
testify
parents,
to
your
it.
grandma, and them, your aunties and them, and Auntie Boo Boo and all of them in the kitchen in the holidays. Because these kids, all they do want to do is actually eat and don't want to clean up. Learn how to cook.
Hey, exactly. What you say, learn to cook. Listen, like I said, there is so much going on right now with cooking. You have so many people online through their social media outlets that they're cooking. I get some great recipes from those that are just putting it down in the kitchen, right? Girl, we
Yeah.
got to make these aprons available. Let me pull this up real quick. So, if anybody's interested in an apron, you make sure you chime in so we can get you an apron and make that available. So, when you're putting it down in the kitchen, you can think about us while you have our recipe book. And then, you
Yes.
know what? It sounds like there might be a volume 2 to this. What you think? With some new cooks, home cooks.
We always looking forward to doing another cookbook. So let's put that out there. And also too, Jermaine, it would be I just want to give shout out to my husband Jeff, who also cooks well.
Absolutely. Cannot leave out Jeff,
you
who
know,
blessed us by touching this book. I'm telling you, his analytical detail eye, I mean, it's because of him that is going out with perfection. Thank you, Jeff.
yes, and it's just really good. It's really fun, when we go on vacation, to our home, stay away from home, that we love just cooking and sharing some of the things that we're eating while we're away. Sometimes we just want to we just like to not always go out to eat. We like to cook a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I really encourage people who are married, learn how to cook together as well.
Yeah, you know what? There's a special bonding when you can cook with your mate, just spending that time together. So think about it. Even from our culture and our history, where were family meetings and gatherings done? It was always over food, right? Family
Yes.
coming together, the love in the atmosphere while they putting it down in their kitchens. So hey, and some of these recipes come from that time when we were, you know, around our family members and our loved ones, our grandmothers, our, aunties, like you said, and pretty much those recipes just transcended through time.
And just,
So
get something out of nothing. Sometimes people, thank God, my mother, she would take whatever she had in the kitchen and made a meal out of it.
absolutely.
Grits and salmon cakes. That was a meal.
Yes, yes, yes.
Chips,
So
Frank,
leftovers are good.
you
Look,
know?
look, leftovers are good. Don't
Yeah.
throw away your leftovers. Repurpose your leftovers.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's right.
So, Dr. T, this
Yeah.
has been a great conversation,
Yeah.
and thank you for being a part of the G Spot experience with
Yeah.
Germaine Coffee Break. and literally helping us to launch our Authors Brew Friday. So, for all those authors out there that want to partake and be spotlighted to talk about your book, I want you to come into the studio with me on Authors Brew Friday. Just shoot me an inbox me, message me, go to the website and just send me, a comment, or just come into the studio. Let's talk about it on Fridays, right? So let me put this back up once again because we need all y'all to grab a book before, let me grab this, before the sale goes off. So scan that QR code. I'm going to hold it up there for a few seconds. And while that's up there, giving you the opportunity to scan that code to go get your book, let me just say this coffee break is about more than food. It's about faith, family, and finding purpose in the most unexpected places, like a pot of collard greens. And Tenaria, listen. Let me take this down so I can see her face. And the reason why she laughing because she put that in the cookbook, right? Look.
Yes, honey. Yes, and Germaine, we forgot to shout out Charles.
OMG. I'm glad
Yeah,
you said that.
come on here.
He actually, the best producer editor, Emmy Award winning,
Yes,
Charles Williams, who actually endorsed the book. It's on
yes,
the back cover of the book. So you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what he wrote. You got to go buy the book to see it.
that's
Go buy
right.
the book. Go
Such
buy
a
the book.
such a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. So, any parting words?
Well, thank you. I just want to thank you, Germaine, for all that you do and bless all of the authors who are inspired to write and tell their story because at the end of the day, can't nobody tell it like us. So I thank
Ah,
you so much for just chiming in and just listening to us talk about putting it down in the kitchen. I pray that everybody really enjoy our book and please give us some feedback, whatever,
yeah,
your heart desire to put and tell us what we could have done and what you like about the book. Thank you all so much for watching.
yeah. And also, you know what? I want to add to that. When you purchase the book and you start using the recipes in the book, you know what? Take a picture and send it in. Make sure you connect on social media. Share the recipes that you used from the book, putting it down in the kitchen. Make sure you leave an Amazon review about the book as well. But go get the book while it's at this special price. You won't be disappointed. It is beautifully done. The meals are amazing. And you know what? I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to hear from you as you tell us the recipes that you've selected to cook in the book. So let's sip slow, serve love, and rate legacy. Girl, it's always a pleasure. We kiki and laugh like this all the time.
Yes,
I have
indeed.
to tell you, real quick, my girl T is always the first one, the voice I hear to start my days off.
You know it.
I'm like, girl, I'm working.
Hey, we inspired each other. Come on here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to say thank you, Dr. T, because this is my first cookbook in the HOV publishing library. And so there are more to come,
Yes.
okay? But thank you. Thank you for taking the stands and taking the leap and making this possible. So here we are. Let's make this the number one Amazon bestseller and let's go from there. So thanks again.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your day and make
Yes,
sure you're sipping on something, okay?
yes. Thank you, Jermaine, and we want to give God the glory for everything that we do. And
Amen. Amen. Amen.
yes.
All right, girl. Thank you all for chiming in. Make sure you leave comments. Make sure you share this with someone else. And make sure you go out and grab this book, okay? We'll talk soon. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Jermaine. Take care.
Bye, sweetie.